Underneath the surface of this breathtaking scenery lies the longest caving system in the UK, a 63-mile subterranean network of tunnels, some of which are so large you can fly a plane through them. So whereabouts am I? Find out in just a moment. Today I'm helping an animal-loving couple in pursuit of their country paradise.
Well, we'd be very happy coming to stay here.
Yes.
So that's the sign, really, isn't it?
So would I.
And their enthusiasm knows no bounds.
Are we excited? Come on.
We are excited.
I want to whoop. Welcome to Escape to the Country. Today we're in North Yorkshire and this is the beautiful landscape of the Yorkshire Dales National Park, an area that spans over 600 square miles of river valleys, hills, moorlands and woodlands. And underfoot is the Three Counties cave system, an extensive network of tunnels that runs beneath the counties of Cumbria and Lancashire, as well as North Yorkshire. But of course, the real draw here is all you can see above ground.
The Yorkshire Dales National Park, located in the north of England, sits just below the North Pennines area of outstanding natural beauty and is sandwiched between the Lake District to the west and the North York Moors to the east. The region's undulating valleys consist of rich pasture land grazed by sheep and dissected by dry stone walls and meandering streams. The rural dales are home to the Three Peaks, a trio of hills which provide avid hikers with some great walking challenges and stunning scenery. Robust limestone buildings are the fabric of these farming villages and are an intrinsic part of the Dales landscape. There's a timeless quality to these lovely criss-crossing valleys. Nidderdale, which stretches to the southeast reaches of the national park, is an area of outstanding natural beauty and is a less-known destination on the tourist map. So, with its stunning terrain of peaks and vales, along with the serene life it offers, the Dales is an appealing choice for those escaping the pace of the city.
If you want to make North Yorkshire your home, you might find you have a little change left in your pocket when you compare the national figures. Because currently, the average price of a detached house in England and Wales is just over £280,000. But here, you'd expect to pay some £9,000 less than that amount. However, in the highly desirable chocolate box villages on the southwest edges of the national park, prices shoot up, costing around £30,000 more than the rest of the county. But what is it about this picturesque part of the country that has lured today's buyers? Well, let's meet them and find out.
It was a love of fine cuisine that brought together web entrepreneur Nadine and her civil engineer husband John.
We met through a social club in Nottingham, and we actually first ran into each other at one of the monthly pudding clubs.
That sweet encounter was 14 years ago, and 3 years later they were married.
We live in West Bridgeford, which is just south of the river from Nottingham, and it's a very nice area, but it is suburban, very close to the city, and very busy.
They've got their sights set on the Yorkshire Dales as their country retreat, somewhere close to Nadine's heart.
I grew up in East Yorkshire, and so all our school trips were there. And I think it's just therefore what I consider to be beautiful countryside. It's kind of inbuilt.
And you always feel invigorated having visited. It's very clean air, nice environment, and you get a sense of a feel that is a good community and be a good place to live.
It won't be just Nadine and John heading north. They've got quite a menagerie coming with them.
Well, we're looking to move with Oscar the dog, Judy the cat, and the two chooks we've got.
We've got quite a few pets, and we'd love to keep more animals.
When we move, I would like to have a bigger vegetable patch and a bigger area for more hens so that we can have fresh produce.
We might take on other animals, so think John would quite like to be a llama farmer, mostly because it rhymes.
But the move's not only going to be about living the good life, there are plans for new ventures too.
I think we're open to trying all sorts of businesses, most likely holiday cottages, bed and breakfast, but the world's our oyster, I think.
And with their house on the market and a clear vision for their next move, Nadine and John are looking to a happy future, including a first in their relationship.
It will be the first time we've actually bought a house together, because this house was Nadine's when we got married and I moved in.
I think this change is really important because when we're in the countryside, I just feel more joyful, happier. And so I think it's just something that I feel that I have to do at this point to get away from the urban lifestyle.
Nadine and John are hoping for a future in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales National Park itself. So that's where we're concentrating our search. But for the right property, we may stray across the border. Before we head off on our house hunt, I'm meeting them to get the lowdown on their property wish list.
Got a great day for house hunting, haven't we?
We have indeed.
So, John, what is this move going to give the two of you?
I think we'll, we like the countryside, a bit more space. We're not looking to retire, we're looking to run a business as well as live here, so.
What do you have in mind exactly?
Well, we've got an open mind, to be fair. I mean, I think any business we set out will probably have some accommodation part to it, so maybe holiday cottages or B&B potentially.
I think the message is we're quite flexible and we'll see what comes along. We would just like it to be a dog-friendly business.
In your mind, what does this new property look like? What does it incorporate?
Probably 2 or 3 bedrooms for ourselves, obviously maybe a reasonable sized kitchen, some living space. We will need some office, clearly, if we're going to run a business or more than one business. And then on top of that, either maybe a bigger house or some outbuildings which we can perhaps use.
So what about the actual location for this move?
I think we're thinking near a village because we'd like to get involved in the local community. And we have been thinking inside the Yorkshire Dales National Park just because that's the tourist destination, although we are well aware that there's some beautiful areas just outside as well.
Yes.
So we've got the business, we've got the property, we've got a little bit of land. Remind us how much money we're talking.
I think if we found a property that needed quite extensive renovation, we'd probably start somewhere about 700,000. That may rise to near 900,000 if the property was pretty much as we wanted it.
Well, we do have some splendid properties lined up to show you. Of course, one is our mystery house, but I'm not going to give too much away. I think we should just get started, don't you?
Yes.
Would you like to follow me?
Nadine and John's top budget of £900,000 is very good for this area, but they're looking for more than just a home, so they're hoping to spend less on the property if they need to invest more in a business. They'd prefer an older home, but they are flexible. They would like a good-sized kitchen and living space, plus an office and 2 to 3 bedrooms for themselves. Then they'll need the extra rooms or outbuildings to create an animal-friendly business. They'd like to be near a village in or near the Dales to attract tourists to their new home. We found a great selection of different properties to show our couple, but the crucial price tag will only be revealed at the end of each tour. The last stop will be the Mystery House, which literally has mystery written all over it. We're kicking off our property search close to the village of Giggleswick. Situated on the southwestern fringes of the Yorkshire Dales National Park, it's 2 miles from the market town of Settle. Centred on its 17th century market square, Settle's streets are home to an array of useful and artisan shops. Its amenities and attractive historic architecture make it a popular destination for visitors. A 5-minute drive takes us to the rural outskirts of Giggleswick, perfect dog-walking territory and home to this striking property.
Wow, that is beautiful. It's made out of that Dales limestone.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
The original part of this house dates back to the 1700s, but obviously it's been extended with the modern part done just 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm keen to show you around, so
Okay.
let's start.
This detached barn conversion began its days in the 16th century as a cattle shed, but its origins have been reconfigured for modern living.
Right, enter through the kitchen. Just mind your heads.
Good size.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, nicely done out.
What I haven't mentioned to you is that this property is divided into two, in
Right.
a way, although they are connected, because this is your part of the house.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And then you've got holiday let on the other side of the property.
Oh, excellent.
But before we visit the neighbouring holiday let, we're going next door to the sitting room of the main house, which is almost a mirror image of the kitchen.
Okay.
Wonderful.
This is the oldest part of all the
Yes.
buildings. You look at the
Those
windowsill.
windowsills are lovely.
Gorgeous, aren't they? And look at the depth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it feel homely so far, what
It
you
does feel
see?
pretty homely to
Yeah.
me, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Upstairs, there's a more contemporary feel than the ground floor, where the sleeping quarters sit in the eaves and all benefit from skylights. There's a bright master bedroom, a slightly smaller double, and a sunny single, all sharing a smart monochrome family bathroom. Back downstairs, as we make our way from the main house to the adjoining holiday let, we pass a utility room, and then a hallway leads us into the main kitchen living area in the next door, more youthful property.
And through this door is not only the new extension, but the holiday let.
Wow.
Well, we'd be very happy coming to stay here.
Yes.
So that's the sign, really, isn't it?
So would
Oh,
I.
this is nice. I like this.
There's
yes.
a bedroom through there, double
Okay.
bedroom with an ensuite. There's a further bedroom upstairs with an ensuite.
Right. Nice one. Cool.
Lovely.
This fabulous holiday let is currently fully booked from April to October and brings in around £12,000 a year. And as we move outdoors, Nadine and John can really begin to appreciate the full extent of what's on offer here.
I think, in a way, we've left the best till last.
Okay.
Because additional business opportunities, 6 stable blocks in
Right.
total,
Wow.
plus land.
Okay.
The land, it's about 6 acres in total, but don't get too scared because you've got an acre paddock there,
Yeah.
an acre paddock there, and a 3-acre paddock just the other side of the wall.
Okay.
Wow.
The menage, or that could be for dog agility courses. Stables, could be kennels.
Yes.
And if that wasn't enough, to the other side of the house, there's the old stable block, which has been converted into a beautiful office. You've got everything.
Marvellous.
So there's an awful lot of elements to this property. We've got to try and put a price on all of this. So who wants to go first?
I'm going to make John go first.
I'd say 800,000.
I'd go a bit more than that. I'll be optimistic and say 850.
How surprised are you going to be then when I say the asking price is £650,000?
Wow.
Yeah, pretty surprised. Yes.
I'd love you to have another look around because this is a wonderful property and it does
Yeah.
seem to give you everything that you've asked for on
Yes,
paper
yes.
at least.
Yeah.
Please be my guest, have a wander, and I'll come and find you when you're ready.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Nikki.
This beautifully converted barn has come in at an unbelievable £250,000 under Nadine and John's top budget, leaving them with a substantial pot of money. There are just the number of bedrooms they want, plus the property comes in 2 halves, the main house and the well-equipped holiday let, along with a fabulous office to work out of. What's more, the land and outbuildings mean they could invest in an animal-friendly business. The 5 acres would be a great playground for their dog Oscar, as well as the chickens, and let's not forget John's potential herd of llamas. Finally, the edge of the national park location means it's a real draw for holidaymakers.
Wow. This one's superb. There's everything we wanted below our budget. The holiday accommodation is absolutely top spec, beautifully done.
I like the house on the outside. It's nice, traditional stone, good-sized kitchen, good-sized living room, and the holiday accommodation attached was just exactly what's required.
It's pretty stunning to come somewhere like this and see all the things that we've talked about and dreamt about potentially just coming to fruition.
Ah, lovely smiling faces. And have you been enthused by all these business opportunities?
Yeah, that holiday accommodation is done to a really high standard.
Yes.
First class, isn't it?
It is, certainly,
Right.
yes.
And this is only our first property.
Yes.
So let's hit the road.
Across the patchwork valleys of the Dales, sheep are a defining feature of the farming landscape. But there are also some relative newcomers from South America grazing here. Nadine and John hope to add their own to the 4,000 llamas currently living in the UK. With that in mind, we've arranged for them to meet llama keeper Suzanne Benson on her farm in Nidderdale to learn what they need to do to bring their dream to life. Suzanne started with just one of these animals 13 years ago, but she now has 19 and a llama trekking business.
We wanted to come and ask you all about them because we were thinking of having some, but mainly because we want loads of chickens.
Oh, right.
And we heard they were good at protecting chickens against foxes and maybe dogs as well.
Yeah, llamas can be really effective guards, really effective, if you pick the right llama.
Ah.
So not every llama will guard.
So what's the trick?
Well, it's knowing llama body language, to be honest. A good, intelligent llama that's very alert to its environment will be a very effective guard. But you can get some really laid-back llamas. You can also get some aggressive animals. So there is a bit of a fine line in the way we bring them up and the way we handle them. Yeah. And obviously you want them as a bit of a pet as well, which is fine. Yeah. But it's very important that you learn how to handle them as a pet because you cannot treat them as another domestic animal. No. We could have a go at herding some in if you want and get up close and personal. Yeah. I could point out a few factors.
Yeah, let's give that a go.
OK.
Llamas need at least half an acre of land each, so with around 12 acres to share between them, Suzanne's herd are in their element. And just look at the amazing panoramic view these lucky creatures have at their disposal.
So how easy is it going to be to herd these llamas then, Suzanne?
Well, with this lot in here, it's a piece of cake, really. They've got a learnt behaviour, they know the routine, they know the commands, like up, up, up. And come on, boys, they know that from my voice. So what we're going to do is we're just going to spread out equally, walk behind them. You two can shout those commands, and we'll just see what reaction we get. If nothing works, I'll help you out.
OK. Up, up, come on, boys, come on. Up, up. Come on, up, 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 up.
Well done, John. They've listened.
This llama herding doesn't seem that hard after all, although Suzanne's crew have had a lot of practice.
Can see the going, that's good.
Go on, boys, in you go.
Go on in, go on, Berts, in. Freddie, in. Just keep bringing it right the way around the back of me, John. Off we go. Good lads, good lads, good lads. Then we just shut the gate behind, and you've caught your llamas.
Anybody can keep llamas in the UK, and there's a society for llama owners which can offer help and advice about the way they should be looked after. The animals are haltered before they're led, and Suzanne suggests buying animals that are already used to wearing a halter, as it can be tricky teaching them to wear the restraint.
Good boy. Oh, we didn't do the squashing act today. Good lad.
These fluffy animals may look cute and cuddly, but they're as strong as an ox. They can carry up to 25% of their body weight, which is usually around 30 to 50 kilograms, meaning they're perfect trekking partners, happy to carry your bags.
Go on, Noodle.
Suzanne knows each of her llamas as if they were her own family.
Good boys. Just while we're in here, I'll point out a few characteristics of their body language. The ears tells us an awful lot on a llama. So when the ears are up and forward, it means they're really inquisitive and they're happy and really interested in things. When the ears go back, right on cue there for Noodle, it can mean they're a little bit unsure or a bit cross with another llama or maybe a human. If they go flat back and their head is raised up and their neck goes up and back, it generally means they're getting very cross and they're about to defend themselves or challenge another llama.
Who would have known there was so much to read in a llama?
And what about the annual costs of upkeep?
So a llama, for example, when you're talking about a small bale of hay maybe, so you could pick that up at maybe £2.50, £3 a bale. So I would say you'd need maybe one small bale of hay per llama every couple of weeks.
Of course, there are additional costs to consider, namely the price of the llama, which can be upwards of £500 each. Then there's the land you need and vet's bills, but I think Suzanne might have just made llama keeping look rather desirable to Nadine and John.
Yeah, well, that's been terrifically useful and a
welcome.
lovely experience.
Yes.
So thank you very much
Good, I'm
indeed.
glad
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed it, and good luck with your llama search.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Inspired by what their new lifestyle could deliver, our couple can now take stock of everything they've seen so far. It's the second day of property shopping in the Yorkshire Dales, searching out a country pad and business for Nadine and John from Nottingham. They've got up to £900,000 to spend on their new venture, and this'll be the first home they've bought together. Coming up, they're stunned by our mystery house.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. That's different.
And I'll be on tenterhooks as I learn about an ancient art.
This is so much harder than it looks. Well, we might be near the Three Peaks, but have we peaked too soon with our first property? I want to challenge our buyers with an alternative view of what the Yorkshire Dales has to offer, with a mystery house that may ruffle a few feathers as it'll show them a business opportunity they wouldn't have considered before, or on the other hand, it could let their imaginations soar.
But before that, we're on our way to the village of Thornton Rust, set right in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales National Park in Wensleydale. The village has pretty stone cottages scattered along its lanes, surrounded by dry stone walls. There's also a village hall for local community events with outstanding views from every vantage point. In the middle of the village is our next property.
So here we are, we brought you to the heart of the Dales National Park, because I know ideally that's where you'd like to live. And here is your property.
Wow. Traditional.
Yeah. It was a barn, just that side, mid-17th century. Then over time, it's been extended, it's now double-fronted.
Yes.
Fantastic, I can't wait to get inside
Yeah.
and
No,
see
me
it.
neither.
Right, let's start.
This impressive stone house dates back to 1657 and has a rather colourful past which will be revealed to Nadine and John on our tour. First up, we're in the old cattle shed and now a dining room with a raft of character features.
Always good to start off with the oldest part of the house.
So this was where the animals lived.
This is where the animals would have lived.
Wow.
This is just fantastic,
It
isn't it?
feels very old-fashioned. I noticed that you've got the stone walls in the hall as well on the way in.
Yes. It's so charming.
I'm liking this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself in here, Nadine?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's keep going and we'll explore. Thank you.
Just behind the dining room is a fabulous farmhouse kitchen with original stone shelves from days gone by. And across the hallway, there's a cosy living room. A stone stairway leads to the first floor where there's a large family bathroom with incredible views of the Dales and 3 good-sized bedrooms. There's a double with a featured chimney breast, another sunny double that's dual aspect, but we're heading to the master.
Yeah, this is pretty good, I think.
I think the house is just ready for the next owner, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully. Yes.
Hopefully. So you like this?
I do like this, yes, yeah.
There is another feature I'd like to mention.
OK.
You've got an ensuite.
Oh, right.
It won't take you long.
Oh, yes. Yeah, well,
But it's there.
Yeah, it's there, and as an
Facility.
additional bathroom, that's very
Yeah.
helpful.
Are you liking the house?
I am liking the house, yes.
Because this is just one part of the equation. We always like to keep something back, don't we? We don't like to play the full hand straight
No,
away. Let's go back downstairs. If you wouldn't mind leading the way.
Perpendicular to the main house are not 1, but 2 existing holiday lets. There's the detached 1-bedroom former piggery, but we're off to the 2-bedroom, 2-storey old goat's house, a converted barn.
Wow.
It's another house.
It's pretty big, isn't it? Are we impressing
We
you?
are impressed with this, yeah.
They've been running the business, this one, for about 17 years now.
Right.
And in the height of season, they're going to get about £650 a week.
That's a good income, yeah.
Yeah,
They can rent this out 45 weeks of the year.
right.
That's a really good occupancy.
Yeah.
Upstairs there's a double bedroom with access to outside and an ensuite, along with a smaller double or twin room.
So let's take a look at the view now, because in a way we've left the best till last, haven't we?
Outside, there's just over an acre of land to enjoy the truly magnificent outlook across Wensleydale.
What a view!
It just hits you coming around that building.
So you've got all this lawn, and if you look around, there's seating areas scattered to make the most of that scenery and view, which is rather wonderful. And the last thing that I've kept from you is the land. You can see it goes all the way down, so enough for 2 llamas.
Fantastic.
We've got to put a price on this property here in the National Park.
I think, based on what's here and what would need doing, 625.
All right.
I'd go higher. I've been wrong before. I'd love it to be 650. It's got to be at least 675.
How much would you love it if it was £650,000?
Very much indeed.
Yes.
Because it is. Asking price is £650,000.
Marvellous.
And there's a little bit more to add to that.
OK.
The owners are happy to throw in their address book with all their contacts.
Excellent.
Are we excited? Come on.
We are excited.
I want to whoop. Woo! And we're in the National Park. I mean, everything's come together with this property, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is spot on, I think.
Lovely, OK. Well, on that price, you've got enough in your pocket to do whatever you want. I think we should go and have another look.
OK, thank you.
Not only has this wonderful period property met the brief, but it's £250,000 below budget, meaning plenty of cash left over to allow them to make their mark if they decide to take it on as their new home. It's got the spacious living areas they're after for themselves and just the number of bedrooms they'd like. Importantly, the pair of existing holiday lets means they inherit a ready-made business and the little black book of potential holiday makers in the future. Outside gives them the land for their animals, and it's all wrapped up in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales National Park, which means there are countryside views in every direction.
The whole property is, well, I think it's what we wanted, really. It's so charming, and it's just nice because it does need some improvement, but it's things that we'll be able to do.
I like the fact that it's been retained, its traditional feel has been retained. It's got all the original beams and the stone walls. The location, we're in a village, so there's more of a community feel. And the view is, I mean, there's views everywhere in the Yorkshire Dales, but that's a view, you know, you need to have a view, I guess, if you want people to come and stay with you in the Yorkshire Dales.
Ah, happy, contented faces. I wonder, have we reached another peak here in the Yorkshire Dales?
We have indeed.
Yes.
It's a good house tour. Very good. Right, let's hit the road.
For our final stop to our mystery house, we're journeying just south of the Dales to the hamlet of Swindon, which is just under 2 miles south of the village of Hellifield. Here, along with a scattering of shops, there's a friendly village hall where locals can really get involved with their community, and there's a handsome church. A 5-minute drive away in Swindon is our mystery house, and they don't come more surprising than this truly resplendent sight. This historic property makes a unique architectural statement.
Now, it's not often I have the pleasure of showing someone around a house like this.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. That's different.
So, any idea why it's a mystery house?
I can't see it having a business at the moment, but then...
And that is the appeal with this property, because it is so historic, with so much charm and character. With this, you could run themed holidays, themed weekends, conferences, really building on the history of the property.
Fantastic.
Right.
Ever thought of doing anything like that?
Not really, no.
Just take a look at the mullioned windows before we go in. Apparently, there's a diamond pane of glass for every day of the year. We'll try and count them as we go in, shall we? Let's start the tour.
A magnificent mystery property built from limestone was completed in 1657, extending an existing house to show off the owner's wealth. It's Grade 2 listed with a star. This makes it pretty special. Less than 6% of the 350,000 listed buildings in Britain have this rating. That's around 19,000 properties. It feels a real treat to be stepping into such a historic home.
So I thought we'd start off with just one of the many drawing rooms that this property has. But this is where a lot of the cooking would have taken place hundreds of years ago.
We've
Very
seen-
impressive fireplace.
Yeah, we've seen a few, but that's the grandest, I think.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
So let's keep going through to the oldest part of the property. So your kitchen here, you've got a pantry through there.
Okay.
This, though, I particularly like because this is the original old hall.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes, it's certainly got a very old hall feel.
It's beautiful, isn't it? And of course, originally, there wouldn't have been that mezzanine floor there.
No.
There would have been a fire and it just would have gone straight to the top. But can you imagine if you did decide to do murder mystery weekends?
Yes.
Having a banquet in here with the fire raging.
Yes.
It'd be fabulous, wouldn't it?
It would. You could use the gallery
Yeah.
for a lot of things as well.
Also on the ground floor at the front of the house, there are another 2 reception rooms, one with a stunning fireplace. Moving upstairs to the first floor, there are 2 bathrooms to service the 4 bedrooms, where feature beams are a recurrent theme. There are 2 spacious doubles, a pretty single, but we're heading straight for the beautiful beamed master.
Do you think we're all going to squeeze into this bedroom? I'm a little bit worried about space.
Yeah, it's a bit tight, isn't it?
Have I scared you both?
I wouldn't say I was scared. I'm still trying to weigh up the possibilities at the moment.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, there's plenty of space. So, you know, I'd like to see more.
Let's go back outside and talk about the finer details.
Okay.
This mystery house just keeps on giving. Above us on a 3rd floor are a further 4 rooms. One currently used as a twin, a box room, a games room and a large sitting room with a vaulted ceiling. Moving outside, there are almost 3.5 acres zoned into different areas, including a walled kitchen garden, a landscaped garden and a meadow.
John, this is going to be your domain, no?
It's, yeah, I can see, yeah, veggies growing in here. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if we can work out how much this extraordinary mystery house is on the market for.
I'll go for 850.
And I'll go for 825.
Oh, interesting. Well, Nadine, you are the closest, in fact.
Yeah.
You're on the money, £850,000.
Wow.
Yep. It is a remarkable house. It really is. It's whether
It's unique.
you want to take it to that next step. I think this is the perfect time for you two to explore. So take your time, and I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our 17th century mystery house is a rare find indeed, and would even leave Nadine and John £50,000 spare if they decided to reside here. Chock full of original period features, there's plenty of space for them to live comfortably and transform it into a B&B, or make the most of the mystery house's historic standing to conjure up other business opportunities. The gardens and land amounting to nearly 3.5 acres means they could have vegetable plots galore, along with scope for plenty of pets and even llamas.
I was intrigued, to be fair. It looked like a sort of a castle-type building to me. I can imagine hosting medieval events here, or murder mystery parties, or potentially weddings and things like that even.
It's obviously quite grand, and I mean, I do really like it, and the walled garden, well, the different sorts of land that it's got with it. I think it could be lovely. I'm just not sure that we can afford it with the price, and then what it would cost to put it into a state to make any money from it as a business.
It's Lord and Lady of the Manor. Have you seen enough? Because that's it, we've shown all our properties.
Yes, and they've all been so different.
We've got you thinking.
Yes, you have,
All right. Well, why don't I give you some time together, gather your thoughts, we'll reconvene and you can tell me what your next move is going to be.
OK.
Yorkshire isn't just a county of stunning scenery. The town of Wetherby, to the southeast of the Dales, is home to an age-old trade that goes as far back as the ancient Egyptians. I've come to the workshop of Yorkshireman and cooper Alastair Sims, who left his job working in a brewery 2 years ago to keep this ancient art alive.
Hi, Alastair. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you provided some great Yorkshire sunshine today as well.
Sun always
Gorgeous.
shines on God's own county.
And it's the proudest county in the UK, isn't it?
It is.
Now, you're a cooper, but I've got to ask you, what exactly is a cooper?
A maker and repairer of wooden casks.
And barrels as well?
Our barrels is a size.
Is it?
Yeah. A barrel's in beer's 36 gallon. In wine, it's 40 gallon or 50 gallon in wine. Spirits is 40 gallon. Oil's 40 gallon. So it's different sizes, but a barrel's a standard measurement.
Ah, so really they're all casks, not barrels?
That's correct.
I've learned something today. And am I right in thinking you are technically the last master cooper in the UK?
I'm the last master cooper.
How do you get the title master
I've
cooper?
had apprentices where the other coopers that are working haven't had apprentices yet.
I see. So there are other coopers out there, but
Yeah.
you're actually training up, hopefully, the next generation.
Well, I have trained.
And that's why you're a master
Yeah.
cooper.
Nowadays, many casks are made from plastic or steel, but coopers like Alastair make their casks from oak. There are 27 varieties of the hardwood that are used, each giving a slightly different taste to the liquor stored inside, whether it's wine, whiskey or beer.
The microbrewers have realised that they get different tastes of beers out of wooden casks, and it does something that... And it gives them credibility. If they put the beer in wood, it proves that they're actually serious about brewing good beer.
Alastair produced around 1,000 casks last year, each one taking around 4 hours to make.
Let's talk about how you actually create a cask.
So the first implement we use is a cooper's axe, which is offset,
Yeah.
and that roughly shaped the coffin shape onto it. Sorry, but that's the best way to explain it. We raise them up to look like a shuttlecock. It's at that point that we actually get the size of the cask. And then from there, we use traditional methods, and we soak them and we fire bend them.
But the fire is used to actually mould, is it?
Mould it. And then once it's been bent, we'll put the finishing hoops on it, which are all made to measure for each cask. Mm-hmm. And then it goes off and it goes back over the fire to be toasted.
Toasted?
Yeah,
So inside it gets really hot.
it does.
Alastair, looking at some of these casks, I mean, that one over there, the small one, that looks really old.
That's a 100 to 120-year-old whiskey barrel.
And why is it worth working with the old casks?
Because there's still 100 years' worth of life left in that cask.
Is there really?
Yeah. So by the time you've finished, you've had somewhere between 175 to 215 years out of your timber.
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
Six generations of cooper. What more do you want?
Yeah, well,
That's
you're-
ultimate recycling.
I'm impressed. Now, Alastair's trusting me to level the top of this barrel in progress. It's the 7th stage in the 12-stage process of cask making.
You're going to demonstrate first what I've got to do.
I am.
Right.
First thing that we're going to use is an adze. So you lay it into your hand, close your fingers, put your thumb on the top, and make sure your wrist's nice and loose. Lean it against the block,
Yep.
pop the cask against the block like that,
Yep.
and just nice sweeping moves
OK.
like that.
All right, let me have a go then. See how I get on.
My job's to make sure all the edges are the same height.
Flex your wrist.
You said that and I missed. This is so much harder than it looks. So how am I doing here?
You're doing all right. Not bad.
Do you get female coopers?
You do.
Here in Yorkshire, Alastair's training up 19-year-old Ricky to carry the cooper mantle.
He's obviously been hard at work today. What have you been up to, Ricky?
Firing and bending of the casts.
And how long have you been an apprentice here?
About 2 weeks.
Oh, so new to the job then. And
Very
what's
new.
the appeal?
I met Alistair and it showed me what he does, and I got kind of interested, and I thought, it's a job for me. I can hopefully one day start my own business, do exactly what Alistair's done.
It's great to see how Alistair's keeping these heritage skills alive. Like any age-old trade, coopering has forged its own place into everyday English idioms, including one meaning to be in a helpless situation.
It's over a barrel.
Over a barrel?
There's also the saying on tenterhooks.
Now, I thought it was tender hooks.
No, tenter.
And what's a tenter hook?
It's a little nail, and we put it in the hoops,
Yeah.
and that holds the hoops on. And that's why it's sayings. That's why it's sayings on tenterhooks, because it's held on by a wing and a prayer.
Things that we take for granted every single day.
Every single day.
Goes back in history.
Yeah.
Well, Alistair, Ricky, thank you so much. And all the best with your
Yeah.
new career.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you better buck up, because Nicky's in line now.
Well, we've had a delightful few days house hunting in and around the Yorkshire Dales, but most importantly, have we found John and Nadine a business and a new home? Let's go and find out. Right, got to get down to business because I'm desperate to find out. Have we got close with any of our properties?
I think the house in the national park, after we'd visited that, I thought that was it.
John, what was so special about that for you?
I think it gave us a bit of everything we were after. It gave us some space for ourselves, separate holiday accommodation, some land, and the most gorgeous views of Wensleydale. And it was located in a village.
So, can I take it that you might be going back for a second viewing? I mean, how serious are you about this property?
Pretty serious, yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
what's pretty serious?
We'll be going back for a second viewing.
I hope the second viewing goes well. Let us know how you get on, won't you?
We will, of course.
It's been a delight. Thank you both very much indeed.
No, thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
So, John and Nadine started this house hunt here in the Yorkshire Dales with a very healthy budget. And I think even they've been surprised just how far their money will go. And the house that they both adore has come in at £250,000 under budget. And what a property it is, right in the centre of the national park, in a prime village location and with a business ready to go. That is going to be a difficult property to beat. So I'm delighted they're going for a second viewing, and I really hope it works out for them and they have the courage to make the move. We wish them all the best. So that's it from North Yorkshire for this week. I'll see you again soon on Escape to the Country.
Nadine and John did revisit the house in Wensleydale and will be putting an offer in as soon as their house is sold. If you would like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, England or Northern Ireland and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.